Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about why I think the S23 Ultra is a better pick when compared to the likes of the Galaxy Z Fold 4. And this is going to be my opinion based on my experiences. So without any further delay, let's get right into it. One of the main reasons that I prefer the Galaxy S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4 was a personal experience, which has to do with one of my habits. Whenever I'm going to sleep, I prefer to watch either YouTube or some sort of series or movies on Netflix and fall asleep to that. And when I was carrying the Z Fold 4, I was always concerned. What if the device is unfolded and I'm watching something and I fall asleep and the device slides off of my hand and to the bed, and during the middle of the night in my sleep, whenever I'm rolling around, what if the device comes under me and because it's unfolded, it snaps off or something gets damaged? That used to be my main concern. And even if I had the case on the Z Fold 4, because it's a foldable device, the cases are not that strong, and I've never had that concern with any of the non-folding devices. For example, the Galaxy S23 Ultra or the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I also have a cases on my phone when I'm daily driving them, so non-folding devices with cases are much more durable. And because of that concern, I was always watching YouTube or Netflix whilst going to bed on the smaller, narrower screen of the Z Fold 4, and the experience is not that great. So for that reason, I prefer the Galaxy S23 Ultra in this comparison, because the S23 Ultra has a bigger display. It's a non-folding device, so even if I fall asleep and the device slides off of my hand and I happen to be on top of my device, I have a less risk factor that my device is going to damage or break. The second reason I prefer the Galaxy S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4 has to do with the camera department. Now, both of them take amazing photos and videos, but the Galaxy S23 Ultra camera packs a lot of punch when it comes to still photos, but mostly when it comes to the video. It has a great stabilization and it is in a league of its own. The still photos, both of them pretty much look the same, but if you really zoom and focus, you might be able to tell by the details and the colors that the better looking one obviously is being taken by the S23 Ultra, but you really have to look for it to find out. But the video quality, you'll be able to tell which one was shot by the S23 Ultra, because you will be able to look for which one looks more stable, which one is a bit less shaky, so you'll be able to figure out by that. So the camera, I prefer the S23 Ultra, although the Z Fold 4 camera is not too bad and is not too far behind. The third reason I prefer the S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4 has to do with the battery life. Now, we all have seen multiple tweets, multiple YouTube videos, multiple claims about how the battery life in the S23 Ultra is amazing, and I can vouch for those claims because I've experienced it, and I have been getting 2 days plus worth of battery life on my S23 Ultra, even when I'm using on the WQHD Plus display mode and on full brightness as well. I have my work profile, my personal profile, all my social medias. I get emails and respond to those emails day in, day out, along with text messages, phone calls, watching Netflix, Crunchyroll, YouTube day in, day out, and it is able to handle all of that amazingly well with no issues. It doesn't heat, and I've had no problems getting more than 1 day's, if not 2 days worth of use with my S23 Ultra, and majority of the other people who've had this unit have also said that. So battery life is mind-blowingly amazing on the S23 Ultra. The Z Fold 4, I am able to get 1 day's worth of use, but when I'm comparing both of them, I have to pick the S23 Ultra. So if you're looking for a better, longer lasting battery life, then go with the S23 Ultra, because you're gonna get more out of it, and you really can depend on this phone to last that long and perform well. My fourth reason for preferring the S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4 has to do with the S Pen. As you know, the S23 Ultra, the S Pen can be stored within the phone itself. The Z Fold 4, yes, you can use the S Pen. It's not the S Pen that works on the S23 Ultra. It's an S Pen that you have to buy separately. It's a bit thicker, kind of the size of a pen, and you cannot store it within the phone itself. Meaning you either have to get a case that can house the S Pen externally, or you would have to carry it like a pen on your pocket. But do note, that has a higher chances of breaking if you do that. And if you decide to go and get a case that can store the S Pen for the Z Fold 4, that would make the phone a bit more bumpy What I mean by that is because the pen sticks out whenever you're carrying the phone in your pocket, you're gonna feel that bump, making it very uncomfortable. And the Z Fold 4 already is a thick phone. Add S Pen to it, it's not going to be easy. If you're someone who wears skinny jeans or tighter jeans, then it's not going to be comfortable for you. But because the S Pen on the S23 Ultra is housed within the phone, I don't have to carry it separately. And even though it is thin, I don't have to worry about this breaking in my pocket. So for that reason, I prefer the S23 Ultra, even though I'm not someone who uses the S Pen and I don't really have the need for it. But at least if I need it, it's there and I don't have to worry about ever missing it or forgetting it. My fifth reason for preferring the S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4 has to do with the apps and its compatibility. Z Fold 4 was being an amazing device because not all the apps are able to take advantage of this full screen. It is pretty jarring experience. At least that was the case with mine. Whenever I use Instagram, for example, if I use it on the front display, it is compatible, but the screen is narrow and it doesn't deliver an amazing experience to me. But when I try to use it on the full screen mode on the bigger display, majority of the images and the reels are cropped. And if I try to use 16:9 mode on the bigger display here, what happens is that I'm left with empty spaces on either side, which does not look that good to me. And that's the same case with Snapchat as well. So it's pretty morphed, and the only time you can actually make good use of the bigger display here is if you're watching a YouTube video or if you're watching Netflix or any sort of movies in this device, then you're gonna be able to make use of it. But social media is gonna be a pain. And that's another reason why I prefer the S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4. I think I've listed about 5 reasons why I prefer the S23 Ultra over the Z Fold 4, but I have to tell you that both of these are amazing devices. You're not gonna go wrong whichever one you pick. But if your mind is going towards the Z Fold 4, I would urge maybe wait it out a couple of months because the Z Fold 5 is on its way. Maybe in August or September it should be here. But if the Fold is not something that you want to try on, then 100% go with the S23 Ultra. It is a pretty amazing device and you're gonna be pretty happy with it. So I guess I'll leave it there for now. Thank you for watching this video. Do like this video and subscribe if you want to watch more videos in the future. Until then, peace.